Okay, I got the head sitting here. These are the ones we did a valve job on earlier and clearanced them out here for more flow, make them run a little bit better. So go ahead and get these ready to go back on. So we got our intake manifold right here. I don't know if that had a bow switch hose on there or a plug on there, but either way that's got to be fixed and replaced. So I got to figure out what that is. I'm going to put new O-rings on the manifold. I'm going to put new exhaust gaskets in the head, and I'm going to put the new O-rings up in the head. So the O-rings are for the push rods up in here, and the exhaust obviously goes in the exhaust. And then these here are our tappet block push rod, lower push rod seals. So they go up inside the lifter blocks over there. I guess we can do those right now. This here have the washers. You got a round side, a straight side. I put the straight side down. Then you put the O-ring right on top of it. Now if the O-ring is loose in there, or if it's too tight to go in, it's got the wrong O-ring. Chevrolet O-rings are bigger diameter, so they don't fit in there right. Oop, that one's upside down. Just put those in there so we don't have to worry about them later. Nothing like putting your push rods all together and then find out that you forgot to put them in there. I got a paint drip right there from on these new blocks. Alright, so we got that done there. These O-rings here, they just slip in here. These are actually Sportster O-rings. They're made out of higher temperature silicone material instead of the Viton. Slightly softer. They all work. Shovelheads are black. Evo Sportsters are red, and Twin Cam are brown. Harley don't tell you anything about colors, what they mean. But they got two different part numbers, and again, things are all the same. So those going that way. These go in there really tight, so you gotta use a couple thumbs to put them in. So I can't show that while I'm holding the camera here. So I gotta see if this takes a bow switch hookup or not. So I'm gonna go check the bike, see if there's anything hanging there. Otherwise, I'll have to cap that off so it won't leak there again if the vacuum take off. Okay, I went ahead and soldered up the hole right here, so it won't leak any vacuum out of that. Those rubber caps get bad with time, as you can tell. So just soldered up. I can't see any use for it, so we plugged it up. So this is pretty much ready to go together. We're going to put the flanges on here, new seals. So this is going to be a rear. This one here has a big R on it, so that's for rear. It goes over here. The taper side of the seal goes to the inside of the flange. Flat spot goes toward the head. So let's put that on there like that. This one here is the front one. Got the big F on it. So same deal. Just rotate that up around there and stick it up in there. These rotate down. Actually go like this. So they go on the inside over here. So that's ready to go on the head. We'll get the heads on it. Okay, so we got I got the seals in there. The gasket, I got those up inside of here. We went ahead and just rolled those on in there and pushed them with my thumb. Make sure they're in there straight and flat like they should be. Make sure the threads are good on the exhaust nuts before you get too far along. So these are ready to go together. So the gaskets we're going to use are the genuine Harley, or genuine S&S ones. So these are your standard paper style ones. What I do is I go ahead and put some dull aluminum paint on these to make them seal a little bit better. So let me grab my paint. Well, they don't make this no more, but this will paint over anything. It's what they used to spray paint automatic trannies with. It's a real thick aluminum paint that goes over muck and dirt and grime and everything. Makes it look like a new tranny. For my race bike, I just use this for sealing, nothing else, no gaskets. So, I just take this, I spray them on the gasket. So you just do half of it like that, and grab it over here and do the other half. So now it's all painted all the way around. I go ahead and stick it up on the motor and let it sit up on the motor. Let it get tacky up there. I'll go ahead and do the other one. Don't need a thick layer, just a thin layer. The paint kind of absorbs into the material here. Gives you a little bit more sealing ability. That's how all your old 30s and 40s and 50s stuff was done, and it still works today. Let's see, we're missing one dowel pin here, so I gotta go find me a dowel pin. It takes 2 dowel pins to make a motor work. So while those are drying, I'm gonna go see if I can find this other dowel pin. Okay, here's the missing dowel pin. So we just lay this back in the back cylinder where it belongs and just push it down in there. It's not a press fit, obviously. Okay, here's our rear head. Go ahead and lay this up on there. Goes. Put the front head on the same way. Let's try to line up the dowel pins what I go from. Simple enough. Okay, get all our bolts down here. So I go and take a little dab of assembly lube and I just squirt a little glob of oil in the bottom of into the threads. And also I put a little bit right here on the shoulder up here. And we go ahead and slip them on down in there. It just makes the head bolts tighten up a little bit easier. Eliminates galling. Galling is bad. Doesn't want to line up. Head bolt stud's not quite in the center of the bolts. Doesn't line up. Have to push it in. So you got the 4 long ones there. There's the 4 short ones over here. It's easy to get interrupted in the middle of something. Grab that real quick. Alright, there's another 10-minute interruption. Well, the paint should be dry now. I don't like paint being dry when I torque it, but oh well, it's not that important. Okay, we just go ahead and bring these down slightly. Sock it back. Okay, so we got those all down just lightly. Now there's 2 ways to line these heads. You can use the Harley Davidson tool that I happen to have, in which case we need to spread this apart slightly. Or you can take the intake manifold, which we happen to have too, and you can go ahead and bolt that all together and get it up in there and use that for the alignment. I usually do both. So right now the heads are too far close together for this tool to fit. So you go like that. And now they fit. So in this motor here I got to spread them all the way apart. Okay, once you get them apart, then you go ahead and bring these down to a light torque. Using your cross X pattern for tightening. That means when you get to the second bolt, you cross over the third bolt. You don't go in a circle. I can remember you start from the front of the back, so I don't think it really matters anyway. Okay, so there's our tool, goes in and slides in and out, so we know we're not binding. So we can go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay, now I'm going to torque these things down. A couple different ways of torquing them. You can use a click style torque wrench, or you can use a dial style torque wrench. I like the dial so I can see what kind of torque I'm putting on the bolts, see if the bolts are pulling out of the case. So Harley, once you torque these things down to like, I don't know, 15 pounds or something, and then you go 90 degrees or some stupid thing like that. Me, I don't like that. I torque them down to 38, 39 foot-pounds, 40 max on these hot rod motors. This one's not super hot rod, so 38 would be fine. And I just kind of give them a little bit at a time here. These are just pulling the gaskets down, so I'm not really paying attention to the torque. I'm just pulling on them a little bit. I have a pretty good idea what torque is just by feel. Alright, so now we got the gaskets all the way down. Now I usually pull them down to, depending on what torque I'm at, that one we're like 10 pounds. So I'll pull these down to like 20 pounds. Then I'll move up to 30, and then I'll move into 38. So where are we at here? It's 20. 20. 20 again. Alright, now we go to 30. That's 30. See, I keep using my cross pattern here. Hold the motor down here while I'm doing this. Alright, now we go ahead and pull them all the way down to 38. See where's my 38 number at. Now if you want to make it easier on yourself, instead of having it set at 0 like I have it right now, you can go ahead and turn the dial to our 38 number, which is basically about right there. And when I hit 0, we'll be at our number. So there's that one. It had a lot of mush to it. This one comes up real quick. So you have one soft, one hard one, same motor. Typical. That one's kind of mushy. That's a little bit better. Put it up here like that. More levers to hold on to the motor with. See, that one's almost already there already. There's that one. That one's already there too. Okay, there's our 38 number. Now I usually like going over and checking them. Now if you had a clicker style wrench, it would click when you got to your torques, but you wouldn't know what it was doing until you hit the click point. Let me double check my dial here. Check my dial slightly off, so put it back where it belongs. Okay. I'm going just a little bit more on that one. That one's good. Let's just tick more on that one. A little bit more on that one. That's good. That's good. Good. And that was already there. Alright, so the heads are now down. So go ahead and put the intake manifold up in here. So one trick I do that I didn't do yet, so I'm going to go out back and do it, is I like to grind the hole out right here so the bolt will go in. So we take these rubbers off we just put on here. So if you see that black mark right there, let me blow this up. So that mark right there is where the bolt is hitting, and that makes the bolt go on the manifold real tight. So you take that back with a die grinder and grind that back a little bit right there, and the bolt will slip in real nice and easy and not fight you like they always do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back and show you it. Alright, we're back with the manifold here. I just kind of cut away for the bolt clearance. So I got the room right here now for the bolts to slide through. Where's the other one at? Over here on this side. And somehow I accidentally slipped with the grinder on the inside and knocked off some burrs and some other crap that was in there. So that tends to happen when I get in the back near the grinding bench. Things accidentally happen like this. So I'm sure the customer won't mind it running better. He might. I had one guy didn't like that. I just figured there was something wrong with the guy. Alright, so we got that in there like that. Now I went ahead and pre-fitted my bolts. Made sure that they were, they didn't bottom out when they torqued in. So I put the flange up there and made sure they were deep enough, because these are really long looking bolts. So these heads here are actually threaded pretty deep, which is a big plus. A lot of times they're not that deep, so they strip out real easy. So anyway, these ones here are definitely a lot better. Now those two inner ones there you don't have to take out. These outer ones right here we do have to take out. So we can yank these out. Okay, put this back up over here. Flanges put back up on here. So here's what all that work was about. You got the Allen bolts right here. And if you see it now, it goes right through real nice and easy. Doesn't bind up. So when you go to put it in, it's good. Okay, now before you put these in, make sure that the rubbers are below the surface of the flange. The manifold spigot flange, not the bolt flange. And just go ahead and slip these up in there. So you slip them over those inner bolts first, or outer bolts, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so those are in there now. So now I go ahead and put the bolts up here on the top. So I'll just drop them around these holes here and tighten these up. So put that back over there. So they're going nice and easy because I ground the manifold away there. A little bit harder up here on the top. Once you get the bolt up there where it belongs, it goes right in. See? This is actually a factory tool over this real long Allen wrench here. So usually I take my plastic hammer and just kind of lightly tap on it, make sure it's all the way in, make sure it's up and down. You want to tighten these ones here up first, most of the way down. Then you spin it around and come here and do the other side. Don't tighten them all the way down, just get them close. Okay. Back here to the other side. And down some more. Then I take a straight edge. This is a straight edge. Put on your manifold and eyeball vertical. Make sure it's 90 degrees. So right now this one looks like it's slightly high. So just lightly tap it. And that looks a little bit better. So that way his carburetor should sit on the bike nice and square. Alright, so now we can go ahead and torque these all the way down. Oop, wrong one. So these ones here, without the rocker box on here, you can get in here with a regular L wrench and just tighten these down. Okay, we switch to the other side. Just kind of draw these down a little bit each way. Now this one here, I made these custom wrenches here. Instead of being a straight 90, these would go past 90. So they let you get in here in the tight spots. I don't know why these are made here, because they're metric wrenches. These aren't the right wrenches for this job. This one's better. Now you can also use a hex bolt in here. A lot of times Harley has a hex bolt on this side and Allen on the two top ones. This particular bike, they ran the Allen on both sides, so we have to use this wrench. Okay. Back over here and tighten the rest of the way on this side. Okay, you go. A little bit of torque. And that one's tight, or just broke, one to two. What was that noise? I don't like pop noises. That usually means you broke something. I don't see anything broken. Go ahead and pull this bolt out and take a quick look at it. Make sure there's nothing underneath it broke. Popping noises are not good noises to hear. I don't see anything that shows damage. It's not the other one either. Okay, go ahead and loosen up this side now because I don't have it all on one side. Alright, do it again. Mysterious noises, we don't know what it is. Maybe we'll figure it out later. I wonder if we got it all looks good in there. it back over to the other side. Let me get this wrench in here. Good, I can get this one in here. This one has more leverage. And that one's bottomed out. I want the flanges to get fully torqued down to the base of the head. They make a thick O-ring that's stock and a thin O-ring if you have the S&S style manifold and head on it. These are the ones that came in the kit, so they should be right. Of course, I didn't double check. Maybe I should have. But anyway, these are all in there. You can see how thick the O-ring is up in here. It's pooching out. Anyway, the flange tightens up all the way against the head. That's how you know how much to go down to. And over here, it's tightened up on the top, up in here. You can see the rubber pooching out all the way around it. So, and you can see how they line up inside there. So, not too awful bad, but there's a little bit of lip on the inside. Typical Harley alignment, not that good. Alright, so the heads are now on. So next thing to do is go ahead and get the rocker box stuff ready to go on and all the push rod covers. So that's the next thing to do.